How's everyone doing? Hope everyone's well. Code there, I'm back. If you subscribe to my channel, you know what I'm about. If you don't subscribe to my channel, my name's Code there. I'm a reformed criminal. I now do interviews on gangs, gun crime, knife crime, austerity, homelessness, prison reforms, prison issues, policing issues, things like that. I'm here today to speak about Greater Manchester Police. In the last few days, there's been stories in the media about Greater Manchester Police failing to record as many or up to and in excess of 38,000 crimes. 38,000, right? They're ranging from minor crimes up to serious assaults, sexual assaults, including rape. Now, if the police are not recording a crime like properly, then if the chances of the police catching people are like a slim to none, because they don't have the manpower to actually to investigate, chase, have like money for intelligence and stuff like that, the funding and stuff. So even if they did get caught, if the crimes are not being reported correctly, that means that there's a high chance that the person, if it went to trial, they'd either wouldn't be charged because the evidence or everything, or the way that it's been recorded at court could mean that the person could walk free for the crime. Now, if your mom or your daughter or your sister has been raped by someone, and because of the how inadequate Greater Manchester Police are, and they're failing to record crimes and stuff like that and record them properly, and somebody walked for a rape, you'd be up in arms about it, and then some. Do you know what I mean? And then some. The simple fact is, Greater Manchester Police don't have the resources, they don't have the manpower. The amount of gun crime in Manchester recently, and well, for the last however long, we're in danger of regaining the old gun crime headlines of old, because the simple fact is the police don't have enough manpower across all departments, right? They don't have the funding. Everything's been cut back. So people that used to go out, if you've got a problem with someone, you thought, oh, I'm going to gun him down, I'm going to go and shoot him. People used to wait till night. Now they do it in the daytime, right? Because they can be brazen, because there are not the numbers of police on the streets. When was the last time you saw your local Bobby? You don't see him, do you? To be honest, I mean, it's laughable and it's dangerous and stuff, and it's putting people's law-abiding citizens, it's putting their safety at risk. Now, within these estates and stuff like that of Manchester, I'm speaking about Manchester, right? Within the inner city estates, there's no respect for the police. There's a general anti-establishment, anti-authority stance across the estates, where people don't speak to the police, and even law-abiding citizens now are actually turning to, and this is a fact, are turning to criminals and gangsters and gang members and hard men on the estates to sort out problems, from low-level antisocial behaviour up to theft and serious crimes, because the police are taking 36 hours to 48 hours to turn up for a simple house burglary, right? So they're not turning up. So people, and then they see soaring crime rates, dwindling police numbers. They see the corruption headlines about Greater Manchester Police. They see that the Greater Manchester Police are failing to record in excess of 38,000 crimes, right? So people are running off scot-free from serious crimes, including rape. It's there for everyone to read. So people are turning to these hard men to sort out problems, because people have lost faith in the police. They don't turn up, they're riddled with corruption, dwindling police numbers, soaring crime rates. The police are a non-entity here in Manchester. They're a non... You don't see them. They're either sat behind desks, chasing the tail. They'll turn up after a shooting or an attempted murder or something, and then they'll try to be proactive and act like, oh, we've got it all in hand, people. We control the streets of Manchester. No, they don't. Criminals are running free across the board. I was in town the other day with my mate, right, Jamie. I was in a pub, and within 10 minutes, there must have been 4 or 5 of the drug addicts, right, coming in with stolen stuff, right, from the street, and I don't just mean from shops, I mean from cars and everything else, right, asking us to buy stuff. Then, like I say, that's just obviously low level, but it just shows the extent of how bad things have become, where drug deal, and then we went to another pub, and the same drug addicts came in into that pub as well, asking people to buy stuff, and people buying stuff left, right, and centre because it's free, it's cheap, and everything like that, and everything else. Obviously, the drug lads they're just after like selling stuff for the next fix and stuff, the next 20 bag. But yeah, it goes on. And like I say, the police are not about. There's less and less police on the streets. They're not a visual deterrent. We live in a lawless city with little or no respect for the police. The police, like I say, you see headlines of police corruptions, the police officers being investigated by their own force, which is laughable because the IPCC are corrupt as fuck. They don't do anything. Police investigating the police, like I've said 1,000 times. It's like asking Al Capone to investigate the mafia. Like I say, it's a lawless city. People are running wild. It's a green light at the moment, right? I'd just like to make a disclaimer. I am not asking or telling anyone to go out and commit crime, right? Just for the record, right? But if people want to go out, criminals want to go out now and commit serious crimes, from shootings to stabbings to murders, attempted murders to shoplifting, like fraud and everything else. The chances are you're not going to be caught because the police are not about, and it's a green light for criminals to go and commit these sorts of offences. Like I say, people from out of town that might watch this, right? So say you're not from Manchester, right, and you're watching this video, right? You come to Manchester shopping, you see the Trafford Centre, you see the Arndale, you see like Deansgate, you see like all them sorts of places, and people think, oh, Manchester is beautiful, it's nice. There's a violent underbelly to the tone of this city. Like, people don't see it. They come on day trips and they leave. They don't see the violent underbelly of the city. It used to come out at night, but it's out in the daytime now. And like I say, people can be brazen because the police don't have the funding, the manpower, or anything else to go after people. They've got to, what the police do and seem to be doing is there'll be an issue with a certain crime, i.e. at the moment gun crime, right? The police will put their funding on, like they'll put extra resources to that department. So what they do by doing that is they leave other departments short, right? So people then, like, obviously, so if you're like, so gun crime, so they put all the resources towards gun crime, right? And then other crimes are left unmanned because they put more manpower on a certain thing. So what I'm saying is the police try and put the eggs all in one basket because they don't have enough eggs to put across all the baskets. That's putting in layman's terms. And like I say, there is a serious problem. I'm sat here as an uneducated street kid who has been involved with gangs and stuff and serious crime as well. And I've been in prison. So, but for me to say it and for me to see it and for me to say it, the police try to act like, oh, we've got it all in hand and stuff, but don't listen to what the police say and what the police do are two different things. The police are under, I think the police have, like, I think they have targets they've got to hit. So what they do, like with me, there was no evidence against me, but the police and the CPS still charge me with no evidence, right? And I went to prison, right? So I think that the police are desperate and that the clutching at straws and stuff. They're always asking for people like to like call up with intelligence and everything else. But why are you going to speak? Why are you going to speak to the corrupt police? I'm from the criminal underworld, right? Where there is you don't speak to the police. You don't speak to the police at all. Like the serious consequences and repercussions if you do speak to the police. That's just the code of the underworld. But yeah, like I say, law-abiding people are now looking at how the police are dealing with things and stuff and thinking, hold on, they don't do fuck all. If they arrest somebody, they're like, oh, we arrested him, we bailed him. He was on bail for 6 months. There wasn't enough evidence, so there'd been no further action, right? So they're free to go. But for me, it's just laughable. Like the police numbers, right? Like I said, I've said it before in other videos, right? Like 10, 20, 30 years ago, people respected the police, right? They were scared of them, they feared them. And yeah, and in 2016 in Manchester, police have been shot, they've been killed, they were targeted in assaults, they're spat at. Another thing as well, what winds me up is like what the police do. They employ these PCSOs, right? Police support community officers, or whatever they're called, right? Oh my god, right? These are a fucking waste of space, right? These people are stuck in police uniforms. Well, apart from they got PCSO on the back, they look like coppers, right? Now, how can you respect somebody, right, that has the same powers of arrest as you and I? All it is, you see PCSOs walking around town, and the law-abiding citizens must think, "Oh bloody hell, we've got PCSOs about. That must mean that everything's in hand and they're on top of things." Oh my god, the PCSO, mate, has got a radio, a pad, and a piece of paper. Right, they're crap. They're a waste of taxpayers' money. And like I say, you see kids, 12, 13-year-olds spitting at him, telling him to fuck off, just like they would with ordinary police officers as well. Tell them to fuck off, do one, don't mind them, get gone, right? Because people don't respect the police. They don't respect the police. PCSOs are not police. They walk around pretending to be the plastic police officers, and they have the same powers of arrest as you and I. They're useless. They are absolutely fucking useless. And then when you stand your ground and tell them to fuck off, they get on the radio and radio a real police officer. So that just shows that they've got no authority, they've got no power, and they're useless. Simple as that. Like I say, the crime across the board here in Manchester, it is through the roof, people. It really is. I mean, people can comment and below and tell me that I'm wrong and everything. I remember doing a radio interview with somebody once, right? Some posh fucking knob off the radio, and he's from Manchester. Well, probably from Cheshire or fucking Prestbury or Alderley Edge or something. And he said, I said, the police have lost control of the streets. He said, oh no, I beg to differ. Oh, okay, mate, okay. You living in your nice little suburb, mate, your nice suburban area with low level crime, right? Like reading about it in the newspaper, right? And me being on the streets, living it, seeing it, and used to being involved in it, telling me that like I'm telling him that he's wrong, but because he's on the radio, that makes him right, and that makes me wrong. Fucking idiots. Another thing that pisses me off as well, you see all these people talking about crime, right, in the media. What are the experiences of crime? Fucking none. Sat behind the fucking sat there drinking a fucking coffee, mate, in a nice big house, right, talking shit about crime because they've read it in a newspaper or they've read some statistics or they've been to university. That doesn't make you an expert in crime, mate. That just makes you a jumped up fucking silver spoon motherfucker that talks about things you've got no experience of because you talk about it. You've been mugged once or something. Wow. Or you read it in a paper or statistics fall across your desk. Doesn't make it real, does it? Doesn't make it hard hitting and like real. I'm a real person. I'm from the streets. I've committed crime. I'm ashamed to say that, but I have serious crimes. Been arrested for firearms and all that stuff. And like I say, just the police have lost control. The police are powerless now to stop it, and I think it's only going to get worse. Mark my words. Crime is obviously. Obviously I know that the UK is a big place, but I'm talking about Manchester. It's where I live. It's what I've got experience of, and I'm talking about Greater Manchester Police. A police officer that was arrested for a theft, for a shoplifting, right, which he somehow fucking got off with. He clearly did it, right? If he hadn't done it, what his missus was arrested because she lied, right, for him. So if they wasn't doing anything wrong, why did she lie? Exactly, because they're fucking liars. And do you know what he's been told? Right, he's been investigated internally, which is a fucking joke as well, because he'll be found to have done nothing wrong. And what will happen is he's been told to take full pay. He's a sergeant. He's been told to stay on leave with full pay till next year. £42,000 a year he earns, and he's been told to stay at home. I'd stay at home, mate, for £42,000 a year, mate. Shoplifting, fucking thieving bastard. Like I say, when GMP are supposed to be getting investigating themselves and arrested because they are arrested for crimes that they are supposed to be investigating, but they're actually committing the crime. And Greater Manchester Police wonder why people are like failing to failing to bring them, not speaking to them, taking like law into their own hands by committing, like by going out. If somebody assaults you, you don't ring the police. You just go out and deal with it yourself. It's illegal, but that's the way it's going. Mob justice, right? Because the police are powerless. The police are useless. They're a non-entity. They're a non-visual deterrent. A police officer in uniform is supposed to be a visual deterrent. Now, ask yourself, when was the last time you saw your local bobby? You don't see them. You don't see them. So if there's no visual deterrent, then that's it. It's down to security guards, like shopliftings and things like that. It's all down to CCTV. So what happens? Crimes get committed. The police go back on CCTV, and then they try to string everything together like a game of like a jigsaw. And then what they do, they go to the Manchester Evening newspaper and they say, "Oh, can you help us identify this man?" Again, I'm not telling people to go and commit crime. However, in 2016, I think it's very easy to get away with most crimes with a balaclava, a pair of gloves, or a hoodie, and that's pretty much it. Like all you need really is an alibi, a pair of gloves, and a hoodie or something to cover your face, like a ski mask or fucking, like I say, things like that to get away with crimes and stuff. And that's across the board. That seriously, like obviously, if you leave DNA and stuff like that at a scene or like things like that, then you're obviously fucking stupid. But yeah, like I say, it's just the facts of how things have gone. No, there's no. The police shooting people dead as well in Manchester. That's a big, like they shot Anthony Granger dead. God bless Anthony Granger. May rest in peace. Hope your family get justice. But sadly, we know that the system's corrupt and flawed, and the big brush, and they sweep everything under the carpet. So, but yeah, don't trust the police. Don't speak to the police. And just look at the headlines and you'll see why I've just saying them things. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for listening. Tune in, follow me, subscribe, share my videos if you want, and I'll speak to you all soon. All right, guys, take care.